So many people feel like they lost their pet. Their pet was here one day and gone the next. Like, boom, here, boom, gone, over, done. What if your pet was actually giving you signs and sending you messages of goodbye and messages to help you prepare for their passing? I think that's one of the hardest things in the pet loss process is this belief that so many people have that their pet didn't say goodbye, that their pet really just that their pet didn't say goodbye. I get so many messages from people who are saying, I just wish he'd said goodbye. I just wish we'd had that last moment together. Well, in my 20 plus years as an animal communicator, I have learned a lot. And the cool thing, the amazing, incredible thing that I want to share with you right now is that your pet was saying goodbye, and your pet was helping you prepare for their passing. It was just not in the way that you were expecting. And I think that if you could know how they were doing this when they were alive, it's going to help you feel closer to your pet. It's going to help you reestablish that bond. And I know it's going to ease that the pet loss and the grieving process a little bit. So today we're going to talk about 5 ways that our animals were saying goodbye before they passed. Plus, I'm going to give you a bonus way too, because I think the bonus way is going to be really important. Okay, so I've gone through and I have created hopefully names that you're going to be able to remember really well for these. And the first way that animals say goodbye that many people don't recognize is called the peace offering. And the peace offering happens when the animal that the one you're concerned about, the one you're listening to about this video is getting ready to pass. You don't know it. But what starts happening is, they're suddenly getting along with their brother, or they're actually choosing to hang out more with your partner. And those typically haven't been great relationships in the past. One of the things I found that animals do is they like to, whenever they can, they like to tie up loose ends. They like to make it so that we as humans have less to be in angst about. Our animals know how hard we grieve and how much we love them. And so if they can, because it depends on how they pass, and also if they had somebody they didn't get along with, they will kind of like soften to that other animal or that other person, or even lose a fear that they had of something and now start to experience it. I like calling it the peace offering because that feels so like kind and gentle to me. And I feel like that's what they're doing. If my dog and my cat weren't getting along, and then before my dog passed, they started getting along, that would make me feel good. That would help me not feel like, oh, it might have happened for this reason because of the cat, and make up a story. To me, that's a peace offering to me as the one who loves my dog so much, that there's this gentleness happening, or these relationships are healing. Does this happen in every relationship? No. Does it happen with every animal? No. And so I don't want you to write in the comments, but that didn't happen with me. Of course, it doesn't happen with everybody. It depends on the exact animal, the situation. But the peace offering is a really beautiful way to experience, hey, there's something else going on here. Things are changing for a reason. The next one, and I really love this one, and in a lot of, when I used to do private readings, one of my favorite types of readings to do is to do a reading with an animal that's getting ready to cross over. And so often, this was one of the signs that they were getting ready to cross over. And yes, if I'm doing an animal communication reading, I can ask the animal, are you getting ready to cross over? But what is more important is not everybody needing to go to an animal communicator, but being able to read the signs and see what's happening. And so this next one is basically where the animal starts looking for more comfort, and that's physical comfort, and I call it nesting. So the dog who keeps bringing the pillow or the bed into the little room, or suddenly wants to be on the blankets, like they start looking for physical sensation type comfort. And this is a really cool thing that I feel good about when I see. The death and dying process for an animal, it can be challenging even for the animal. Even though it's a perfect process, it can be challenging. So when an animal can, they're going to take care of their physical body in the best way possible. And I'm sure you've seen this. You've seen an animal who's getting ready to pass, and they want to be more cuddly, held in the blankets, wrapped up in the room. They're looking for physical sensations of comfort. There's a lot that happens in the physical body when an animal is getting ready to pass. So this is a way that they're taking care of themselves, and it's also a way that they're letting you know. Now, if your animal always does this, obviously that's that's not a thing, but this would be a change in your animal. And it can, if you think back, did your animal do this? And yes, I want to say that this does apply even to an animal that passed through an accident. So I'm not just talking here about animals that crossed over through being sick, but also an animal that crossed over by running out the screen door and getting hit by a car. It still applies here. And the reason for that is that animals plan their passing, and I will link to a video that I have about that in the description. This is cool. This is called the thin veil experience. So a lot of people have asked me about, like, what is happening here? Why does it seem like my dog, my cat, whoever it is like playing or barking at things that aren't there? Have you ever heard about, I'm sure you have, deathbed visions that people have, human beings have, and they're like reaching out and we don't see anything there, but they're reaching out to someone from their deathbed. Well, it's the same type of thing that animals go through. The difference is that often animals are doing it and they're doing it in a playful way. They can also be doing it in a more dramatic way, but often they're doing it in a playful way, and they're doing it more often. Now, I don't specialize in deceased humans. I specialize in animals and intuitive connections with animals. But what's happening is the animals are like connecting with their deceased loved ones, humans and animals that are on the other side. They're having conversations, they're playing together, they're moving the energy. What's happening is already the veil between an animal and the other side is way thinner than it is for us. For us, we have to like train and open our intuition, but for animals, it's pretty thin. They don't have to do as much work, but it thins even more as they're going through the death and dying process, and that can happen even weeks prior to their passing. So they start running and jumping and playing, and what are they playing with a mosquito? What's happening here? But really, they're actually connecting with the animals that are on the other side and the humans. And that's a really important thing that I want for you to understand, is that it's not all about the connecting with their brother who's on the other side. It's also your mother who's on the other side. It's all like everybody's there to receive them. And so everybody, as soon as that Vin fails, that's good. As soon as that veil thins enough, everybody starts kind of showing up and hanging out and being around because they know what's going on. So when you're going, what are you barking at? Or what is happening? This is a way that the animal wants to help you understand what's going on, to prepare you for what's coming. So the next one, and this is directly related to what's happening in the animal's death and dying process, because what needs to happen is the physical body and the spirit, they need to separate. And so as that's occurring, and the way that I see it is I see the spirit going this way and the physical body going that way. It's kind of like the physical body leaves out through the bum of the animal. So as this is happening, what it's doing is it's creating a bit of a disconnect in the animal, because there's less of their physical body present, meaning they're less grounded, they're less here, they're less in the moment with us because they're starting to focus elsewhere. So the way we experience that is actually that they get very spacey, and not just spacey, but like not present. Like if I were trying to get my dog Bella to come to dinner, I'd be like, Bella, 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 and she's just, fine, but not present. And this is a very common way. And it is actually one of the more common ones I see with animals as well who are died because of an accident. You can kind of a lot of the time look back and be like, oh wow, he was kind of spacey for a few days before. Oh, and it starts to make sense. He was prepping you. The spaciness one makes me feel good. Why does it make me feel good? It makes me feel good because it makes me feel, I don't know, I'm just going to say it. I don't like how death goes. I don't like that death can hurt. I don't want anyone to suffer, much less an animal. I don't want an animal to suffer. So me discovering from the animals that as they're separating out, they're spacey, they're less connected, they also feel less as well. So that makes me feel better about if they died and there was pain there. Okay, it's dulled because of the spaciness. The fifth one is the soul level stare. Now, if you look through any of my social media, if you look anywhere in my life, in my business, you see people saying, "Why does my pet stare at me like that?" Now, in normal life, the reason they stare is because they're being like, "Hey, I love you. I love you. Do you get it? I love you." And they like keep looking at you and giving you the stare. And you're like, "What's happening? I love you." And it can be a little confusing. And you can feel a little unsure of it. And you can be like, "That can't be the message. They must be trying to warn me an earthquake is coming or something." But it's the "I love you" stare. Now, an animal who wants to help prepare you that they're going to pass soon, and who is also wanting to say goodbye, takes the "I love you" stare and they notch it up a whole lot. And this stare, you know what I'm talking about, but it changes. It changes. And how it changes is it's in the intensity, it's in the feel. You can almost like feel it in your bones because it becomes like, "I love you, and I am giving all of my love to you in this moment." It's like this intensity that you've never felt before. So I need to make sure that you understand the "I love you" stare is not a sign of goodbye. It is not a message they're getting ready to pass. But when the "I love you" stare like shoots up and becomes like a big deal, and you feel it, and it's like it feels, I don't know, when I've seen it, I feel it in my bones. When I've seen it, I feel like my heart getting sucked into them. That's another way they're letting you know they're getting ready to pass, and that they are saying goodbye, and they're saying goodbye with love. We're going to go over the bonus in a moment. I want you to think about for a moment, of these 5 signs, have you experienced any of them? Looking back now, because that's the really important part here. Now that we know that we've got these signs of goodbye and preparation, have you ever experienced them with the pet that crossed over? And knowing now that you experienced even one of them, doesn't it allow you to feel a little relief? They knew. They were prepping you. They knew, and they were saying goodbye in the way that they can say goodbye. Not that we necessarily want them to say goodbye, but in the way that they can say goodbye. Let's do the bonus sign. All right, so for the bonus is really cool. And it took me a while to understand the bonus, first of all. And then it took me a while to understand that humans have the same bonus. Dying humans have the same bonus sign. So basically, when the animal spirit and the physical spirit are like needing to separate, so the animal body and the physical spirit, when they're needing to separate, this is an energetic change that happens. And when that energetic change happens, there does need to be a burst of energy. Now, what this burst of energy very often looks like is you think this animal is going to die. It seems like they're on death's door. It's really challenging and hard to experience this. You're like, you finally go, all right, this is it. I believe it. Yep, I'm going to lose him. Okay. And, the next day, boom, she rallies. And she's eating and she's acting like she used to, and everything is great. This is called the rally. And humans do it as well. And that's the thing I didn't know. I did not know humans did it too, because I don't really focus that much on humans. Who cares about humans? But animals do it. Now, there's two reasons that they do it. The first reason, and I've talked about this reason a lot in the past, is just what I'm saying, that there's a separation between the physical body and the spirit that needs to happen. This is an energy surge that has to happen, and it makes the spirit able to leave the body. It's like a nice little push. But the second reason it happens is that it's a gift for you. You get a little bit of extra time. You accepted that they're passing because you finally did. And they're like, great, you get it. Let's have these last moments of goodbye in the physical world before I have to go. I love the rally. Not everybody gets to experience the rally. There are other ways that energy surge happens, but those are for different videos. If you want to learn more about signs, I will link my 48 signs that your pet on the other side is saying hello in the description. It's a PDF that you can read. 48 was the number the animals gave me, so that's the number I gave you. And I'll also link my last live, which talks about why so many animals are leaving us right now and having a challenge with that and suffering.